So, welcome everyone. We've started recording the video. I just want to welcome. I can see so many people. So just put it in the chat. Everybody says they can hear me. I want to welcome. I can see Mrs. Aulat Adam. You're very welcome. I can see Mrs. Teresa Chimezie Adidolapo Williams. Thank you so much. Ms. Adishola Oyemi says, good evening, Prof. Okay, yeah, the chat is fine. Thank you very much. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. I can see so many people joining us this evening, and some others are joining as we are sending the message to everybody. So you're welcome. Okay, today we're going to be talking about a topic which is managing money wisely. Okay, we're going to be talking about that very important topic. And I want us to get our notes because as we are resuming next week, Monday, this will just help us prepare for resumption and also prepare to handle this current economy we are in and just be able to respond in a better way. So managing money wisely, we're going to be talking about it as regards our school. All right. I'm just going to reactivate everybody again. Just a moment as I get this started. So somebody said I'm breaking. Is it from my end? Please confirm. Confirm audio again. Can you see me? Can you hear me clearly? If you can, so that I can get started. Very important that you can see me and you can hear me. Okay. Okay. All right. So there's confirmation, yes, loud and clear. So I'm just going to get started. I'll try and share my screen. I have it written out like step by step. So I'll try and share my screen. So it's like a note so that when we are taking notes, it can be easy for us to take. Okay. So let me share my screen so that we can get started. Okay, you should be able to see my screen now. All right. So managing money wisely for long-term success. Managing money wisely for long-term success. We're looking at it from the perspective of financial management and sustainability, ensuring long-term viability, but too much English. Managing money wisely for long-term success. So it's very important. All right. We're going to be looking at strategies for financial stability and growth, especially as our school resumes. Some of these things, I've shared it before, but I'll be retreating it and we're going to be going through some step-by-step planning, okay? All right. So today, like I said, we're going to dive into one of the most important aspects of running a successful school or successful organization. Successful school or running a successful organization, which is financial management, okay? Without sound financial practices, even the most promising institution won't survive. So how do we do that? Especially now that we're going into the school resumption, to make sure that we are well ahead as regards where our school is at. All right. So what do you expect? We're going to look at how effective managing money or managing our finances can ensure our school's sustainability. So whether you're a seasoned school owner or you're just starting out, the strategies we discussed today will help you secure your school's future. Very, very important. Why is managing money wisely very important at this time? Why financial sustainability matters? It ensures that our school can last for as long as it should, because financial sustainability ensures that your school can continue operating and fulfilling its mission, because money is the blood of every business. And for the great mission that you have, it's very important that you know how to get the money, you know how to make the money, you know how to sustain the money, so that that vision and mission can continue. So, for example, a school that carefully manages its finance can avoid sudden closures. I had a couple of people chat me up to tell me that they will not be able to bear the financial branch of their time and they might be going out of business. That's not good, you know. And I've had some people have to go out of business just because funds are not adding up. Funds are not adding up. So it's very, very important to know how to carefully manage our finances, avoid any financial crisis, and ensure that every child receives uninterrupted education. Okay. So it helps our longevity. All right. Number two, it helps our resilience. When we manage money wisely, it helps our organization withstand economic fluctuations and unexpected challenges. So, like I tell people, after God is government. The government right now determines the kind how our business climate looks like. And right now, we are not even having a very good balanced business climate, at least for a while now. I don't know, maybe for like 2, 3 years now. It's been everywhere. It's been up and down. You can't fix the price of fuel for your bosses at a particular price just because you are not sure of what the next fuel price will be. There's fuel hike this week, schools resuming next week. So you find a lot of fluctuations and unexpected challenges that comes with the economy. So imagine you don't have a well planned out strategy for knowing how much is going out, knowing how much your expenses is running. Imagine you don't have that, all right? If you don't have that, it's going to also be a very big challenge in managing these fluctuations, all right? Or if your school faces a sudden drop in enrollment, all right? If you have strong financial practice, it can help you to weather the storm. At least it can help you to adjust and recover, okay? Also, having a very sound financial practice enables us that we have sustainable expansions. So when we see opportunities, it makes it easy for us to grab it. Some people grab opportunities by their savings. Some people grab the opportunities by loans, but both is because they have good cash flow. They understand, oh, this is the health of my school's finances. It's very important. This is a health. This is how much that comes in. This is how much that goes out. This is my expense. So I can be able to afford if I'm going for this loan. Or I can be able to upgrade facilities in this capacity. Or knowing the state of my finances, I can be able to, I need to raise more funds. Let me raise more funds this way. Okay. Are you following me? Somebody said the volume is low. I cannot hear you. Can you hear me now? Can hear you clearly. Some can hear. Majority said they can hear. Please confirm if you can hear me clearly. You can increase the volume because I'm using, I think I've increased the volume to one of the highest. All right. Okay. So it's very, very important. So what are the key pillars for financial management? Okay. It's very important now. We can write this down. The key pillars for financial management. Key pillars for financial management. When it comes to managing our finances, what are the pillars? What are the pillars? What are the things that is going to help to say we are putting in very solid financial structure? All right. Okay. So number one, okay, if you're writing, number one, budgeting. Number one, budgeting. So budgeting involves creating and maintaining a realistic budget to guide financial decisions. A lot of school owners, majority, don't have an active budget. And the way we see our school matters, all right? The way we see our school matters. So budgeting. A lot of schools don't have a good habit or practice of budgeting. Especially when we hear the word budgeting, we think it's for very large organizations. Our organization too needs active budgeting. For example, if maybe you are planning to introduce a new extracurricular activity, your budget will help you determine if you have the financial capacity to support it. It's very important. And right on this call, we're going to go into budgeting. We're going to give an example. So I want to quickly send a link to the chat that will help us. So you can just open this link somewhere. I'm going to send a link to the chat. If you have that link in the chat, yeah, please click on the link in the chat and open it up. Because now that we're resuming, let's try to do a prototype of what our finances should look at now that we're resuming, okay? If you have opened the link, if you have access to the link, please let me know. If you don't, let me know. Please quickly confirm for me. Let me stop sharing my screen just to quickly see. If you have access to that, let me know. Okay, I send the link to the chat. If you can open it, just type opened. Let me know. Done. Okay, I think done will be good. Yeah, done. You can type done if you have opened it. Fantastic. I can see that. Okay. All right, done. Fantastic. Okay. So let's open that. So let's put our notepad on one side. Then good. All right. I'm sharing my screen again. Just let me know if you can all see my screen. Let's stop soon. Yeah. Okay. So budgeting. So we're going to be talking about that budget. So let me open my own side here. Okay. I'm going to talk about it. Number two thing we're going to talk about is expense tracking. Monitoring your spending, ensuring that you stay within your budget and you meet your financial goals. So an example will be tracking daily expenses, what you spend, classroom supplies or utilities. This helps you track how much you spend on a daily basis and avoid overspending. We're going to do it the manual way. Then we understand this, then we can use whatever applications that can guide us, okay? Number three area in the financial pillars, in the key pillars for my financial management, number three key area is revenue diversification, developing multiple income streams, revenue diversification, okay? Revenue diversification. Some of these income streams could be within your school or outside of your school. For instance, maybe apart from your tuition fee, your school might generate income through rentals of facility, fundraising, events, consultation, after-school programs. We're going to talk about that briefly because there'll be another Zoom meeting where we'll be talking about diversifying income streams. So I'm going to talk about that. But today, we're going to just focus on the first two pillars. Then the fourth one will be building financial reserves, especially in times of emergency, thinking of future investments, conversion of your savings into other currencies that because of the dwindling naira, these are just investments, all right, that can help to secure the savings that we have. We'll talk about that, okay? So let's start from the first one, creating a sustainable budget. Creating a sustainable budget, all right? Creating a sustainable budget. I just want to check in the group again to make sure that everybody have access to the meeting. Okay, that's good. creating a sustainable budget. So let's craft a budget. So the first one, and the first side of the document asks us to open. Let's take out a sheet of paper because we're going to be doing that. Open that side. I'm gonna stop sharing. All right. I'm gonna stop sharing. Okay, a lot of people have opened it, done good job. Let's open that side now. Let's open that document right now because we are going to start working on that. And take your pen, take your paper, let's work on it. We just want to have an ideology. So please, let's do that. All right. Let me share my screen again. Righty. Okay. So I'm sharing my screen. So I'm going to download these documents now. I have it downloaded and just convert it to Microsoft Word or PDF. I just convert it to Microsoft Word so that we can work on it together. I love PDF. All right. So PDF. So I want us to work on this together. So just give me a moment to quickly pick up the PDF, then we get it done. So I just converted it to Microsoft Word and I'm going to have it downloaded now. And we're going to open it now together. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do is let's go down to our income records. What are the income we're expecting this new term as we're about to resume? Let's start from that. What are the income we're expecting as about to resume? I usually break it down into simple outlines. So the first one is outstanding school fee. That's number one because it's an income. If you have any outstanding outside, it's an income. All right. Except you have written it down as a bad debt. It's an income. So let's work on that together. What are you expecting? Let's talk about that. Outstanding school fee. Please confirm. If you can see my screen, because I'm trying to share my screen to have that. So how much? So let's say in my school, I have, write it down. In my school now, I'm going to just give an example. I have 140,000 as outstanding income. Let me increase the view so that we can see this document more. 150%. Yeah. So let me do more. 200%. Yeah, I think this is good. This is good. So let's start from there. Outstanding school fee. Let's say you have 140,000. Please, if you are following me, let me know. All right. Fantastic. Somebody says there is no volume at all. Is there volume now? Can you hear me? I'm following. Nice. So let me just continue. Maybe just increase the volume from your end. So expected school fee. Expected school fee. Let me try and see if I can upload even this document. This one I'm sharing here, the Microsoft Word document. If I can upload it directly here. Somebody is writing on the screen. So I'm going to upload this document itself here so that you can also have it. Yeah, I just sent the Microsoft Word I converted. Yeah, I just sent the Microsoft Word. So let's continue. Expected school fee. When I mean expected school fee, I mean the tuition side of your fee, the tuition. So I'm going to take each class, which is going to be, you have to sit down to add that up. So basic 1 up to SS3, if your school is up to SS3, if not, from nursery to kindergarten, what's the expected school fee? So I had each class. Basic 1, 300,000. Just give you minimum. Basic 2, 900,000. Basic 3, dependent on the number. So let's say we came up with a total of 6 million. All right, expected school fee. We have 140,000 outside, we have 6 million. Notebook sales. How much are you going to get from notebook sales? From selling your notebooks? How much are you going to get from selling notebooks? Okay, I'm going to get, when I sell all my notebooks, going to give me 600,000. Okay. I'm just having an estimate here. Uniform sales. Okay. Uniform sales. Don't worry, I'm going to share the presentation document. I'm going to share it to the inner circle. So we're going to download it. We're putting all the links. But just follow me. You can also follow me and write it down. Uniforms. So uniform is going to come from projection. Like, let's say averagely, when you come in, some people will buy new uniform. And when you bring in new students, they will get you new uniform. So let's say we are going to make 30 sales and one uniform costs 10,000 naira. Give an example. So from uniform sales, 300,000. Textbook sales, your total textbook sales. This is including, the textbook is not for you. You have not removed your cost. So your total textbook sales. Let's say textbook sales again, this time I'm going to be selling 1.2 million. All right. Students paying for school bus. Student paying for school bus. School bus income will give you another 1.5 million. $1.5 million. So now that we have that, we have all this. What are the other things that I have not mentioned here that are income for you, within your scope? What are the other things you have as income? For example, things like extra curricular activities. Okay, club. Okay, can you please help me in the comments? Club. Let me share my screen again. I think I wasn't sharing it. Yeah. So what are the other things? All right, thank you. Clubs, yeah. Stationery as income, yeah. Stationery. What are the other things? That could be income. We can add that as income. What are the other things? Food, okay. Lunch, okay. Excursion, practicals, okay. I already put textbooks. Somebody says party. Somebody says party. We call. So I'm just going to put this differently. Some schools put it together. Party. Or events. Yeah, let's just put everything under events. Events. It comes from events. Okay. All right. End of year, everything under events. Well, so let's just stay here. So what income will all this also bring to you? What income? What income will this also bring? So let's say extracurricular activities will bring in 500K. Stationery will bring in 200,000. Lunch will bring in 400,000. Excursion will bring in 600,000. All these are just fictitious number. Practical will bring in 200,000. And end of session events will bring in 1.3 million. Okay, so this just bus services. Yes, it's here. We already put school bus is here. Thank you. Thank you, Mrs. Olufunke. So now this is our income. This is how we write it down. So it takes a lot of sitting down to add out all of this. When I was actively managing a school, I do this every term. Every term gives you an idea. E-learning, I love that. E-learning. All right, is already these are other additional income that some schools are already adding. Maybe it's going to bring another 500,000. All right, maybe you charge for that somewhere somehow. So you have all this income here. This is the expected income. All right. Now, what are your expected expenses? All right. I'll try to list out some here, but you can go as much as you want. Okay. What are the expected expenses? Termly salary for all your teachers. Termly salary. So for an expected school fee of 6 million, we're expecting salary to be about 60% of tuition for most schools, except the number is not balancing. So 60 to 70%. So let's say expected salary, it will be, let me get my calculator to say 0.6 times 6 million. Okay. So termly salary, maybe you're paying 3.6 million. Because that's bulk. All right. That's bulk of the income. If you're watching this and you couldn't get in, I'm just going to record this for a replay. I just noticed that my Zoom only allows 100 members. So really sorry for that. You watch the recorded version. Okay. So maybe before the next meeting, I'll try to just upgrade. So textbooks, expenses. Textbook. So if your income from textbook is 1.2 million, obviously you're going to pay your publishers. So if you pay your publishers maybe 900,000 and maybe 300,000 is the school's gain. Okay. Fuel. I'm going to put it running fuel for school runs. I'm just going to put it like that, for everyday school runs. So in a term, Fuel, can you give me an idea of how much fuel would be? How much will you allocate for fuel for this kind of school? Can somebody give me in the chat? How much are you going to give for fuel for this kind of school? Okay. Help me. Help me. How much are we going to give for fuel in a week? 1.2 million for fuel. I'm not saying bus. I just mean running fuel for school runs. I'm not saying bus. But I'm still going to get to bus fuel just for school runs, 25K weekly. Okay. All right. 45K weekly. Okay. 45K weekly just for school runs. Yeah. Switching on gen, pumping water, and all of that. So, okay. So let's do 50,000 weekly. 50,000 weekly times how many weeks do we have in a term? How many weeks do we have in a term? Okay, we have like how many weeks do we have this new term that is coming in? Okay, 13 weeks. 50,000 times 13 weeks. That's going to give us 650,000 for this kind of school. Okay, 650,000. Remember, these are just fictitious numbers. It's not a real school, so might end up with a deficit. But just to give an idea, I can see Mr. Adi raising your hand. Please, we'll be done. We'll ask questions once we are done. Okay. Stationaries. Stationaries. Okay, if you sold 200,000 stationaries, maybe you bought all the stationaries for 120,000. Building and constructions. Okay, it's not every time you make a new building. So let's leave this as, let's say you didn't build it, you didn't put anything new, but you repair, you always have to repair every time when you come in, chair, roof, repainting. There must be 1 or 2 repairs you're doing at a point in time. So how much should we allocate for repairs for this school? So how much should we allocate for repair? Should we allocate like for repairs, 300,000 or 500,000? Let's put 300,000, okay? Toiletries, which you have to buy. Toiletries, maybe that costs you 70,000. Okay. Tax. For most schools in Lagos State, they pay tax each month. Okay, dependent on the number of your staff, and you pay tax. So let's put 100,000 for tax. Okay, no. If salary is 3.6 million, tax is around 0.1%. So it should be like 360,000. Yeah, let's just leave tax as that. Drugs and first aid, maybe you spend another 100,000. Rents, okay. How much are we allocating for rent? Okay. For this kind of school, with the cost of rent per for the next one term, 500,000 for rents. Okay. Okay. 500,000 for rent, 700,000 for rent. Okay, let's put let's say you're renting this place for 1 million, 1.5 million a year. So we're breaking it down for 500,000 per term. Just give me an example. All right. Examination, cost of printing examination. Maybe you're going to have another 100,000. Okay. All right. Then this is another tax that is paid yearly, development fund, business levy, radio, and all of those things. Savings, we'll still get to there. Then fuel, but this is bus fuel. Bus fuel. So how much are you going to allocate for bus fuel? Dependent. So if the building is yours, will you put rent? YES, capital. YES. How much will you give bus fuel for the term? Please, I need suggestions. Talk to me in the comments. I've disabled talk so that we can just, how much are we going to put for bus rent? Let me stop and see. Bus rent. I said bus rent, bus fuel. bus fuel. Generator fuel at the top, that's generator fuel, that's for school runs, was 650,000 because we put 50,000 weekly just for generator. So now for school bus, buying of fuel for the school bus and all of that, I've not, let me even put bus fuel. There's servicing of the bus itself. There's servicing, repairs, and all of that. But I'm going to put, let me add it to repairs. 1.4 million bus fuel. Yeah, I know it should be up to, it should be one crazy amount. 1.4 million. 100K weekly. Yeah. So that's 14 weeks, 1.4 million. Okay. All right. All right. We already put 1.4 million. Somebody said 1.5 million. Okay. 1.4 million. So we're already building our school. Now, these are fictitious numbers. Like I said, it's not a real case, but it's very, very important. Now, if you cannot track all of this down now, no worries. The next thing I'll be talking about is how do you make sure you're tracking this down? So, because the purpose of this is not to really discourage anybody to say, oh, this is crazy. But with the kind of economy we're going into now, it's very important we have this detailed financial analysis for our business to know the health of our business, to know what's coming in and what exactly is taking out the money. But if you can, sometimes to get this side, this is the expenditure is hard if you don't, if you have not tracked it over the time. Remember, this is still budget. Budget means is in view. It's not real numbers. For example, because you put 140,000 as outstanding school fees, doesn't mean all the 140,000 will be recovered. It's just your money that is outside. Because you put 6 million as the expected school fee, doesn't mean that 6 million will come in. In fact, there are times where you put 6 million and you had a spike in registration, and that 6 million could jump to 9 million because you had a lot of registration. And there are times, if you don't have registrations and people left, that 6 million could be down. So this is budget. This is looking at your current school now, minus the people that graduated. What is the expected income? Minus those people, what the expected income? Please don't, as much I'm an enrollment, I talk about enrollment a lot, but we're not talking about enrollment now. We're not talking about enrollment in view. Budget is we are projecting. Okay. Don't budget for any enrollment. Put the minimal as possible. This is imagining that there's zero enrollment, which is not possible. You all obviously have, but this is imagining that there's zero so that we can be in the safe zone. Okay. So, and here I'm going to put the term. What term am I getting? 20, 24, 20, 25, first term, right? Okay, first term, 2024, 2025 session. All right. Okay. Same year, just the same year, just to have that record. All right. So we ended our expenditure here, but there's something I didn't talk about here, which is bus repairs. School bus repairs. So this expenditure continues. School bus repairs. So how much can we give to school bus repairs? And a 10. We are putting 1.4 million for bus fuel. How much can we give for school bus repairs? Maintenance, yeah. 200,000, okay. All right, thank you. 200,000. So all this is projected. All this is projected. 200, somebody said 300K, 100K. Let's put it at 200,000. So what we're going to do is that let's now add our total income. So I'm going to take my calculator and add my total income. So, oh, sorry, I didn't share my screen again. So I'm going to take my calculator and add my total income. All right. Pretty much. But I need to do this. So let's add our total income. Oh, internet. Thank you so much. That's another expense. Thank you so much. Internet. How much for data per term? Mrs. Robert Titilayo, can you just give me an idea? How much do you spend for data per term? Just give us an idea. How much data per term? 100K, okay. For data, 30K, okay. So let me just pick 70,000 for data. Yeah. So, okay. Expense list is always very long. PHCN recharge, thank you. PHCN recharge. PHCN recharge. Thank you. How much? The list of expenses, it just keeps growing. All right. PHCN recharge. That will be how much? Temly, 50,000. Okay. All right. NAPS dues, seminars, clearing of environment, airtime, and all of that. I'm not going to add everything here, but you can see. So you see, the good thing about doing this activity is, see, somebody says security, fumigation, what do you call it? Community levy, estate levy. All right. All these lists should be captured. And that's why I have this expenditure. You have all, like, you continue to capture the list here, but just because of our time. But why it's important we do this is that it begins to show us exactly where money goes. Because I sit down, I remember when I was helping my mom when I got to the school and say, we don't know where money is going. Money is just coming in every time. We're not making any money. The point is that because we don't sit down to track all our expenses, we don't see where money is going. You see a lot of money coming in, but a lot of money also going out. See, somebody dropped it. They said renewal of bus documents. Okay. If you have 4 buses, 5 buses, you see how much that will cost, especially. All right. Staff welfare, outside salary, So list that thing out. For some people, it might not be an expense because maybe they don't do it. For some, it will be an expense, but list these things out. But it's just not important. It's not just listing them out, it's tracking them during the term, which we're going to talk about the expense tracker. Okay. But that just give an idea. But look, you can see that because we're having this conversation, it's opening our minds to all the things that take money out. Telling you the list of expenditure just can keep growing. That's why after I wrote 1 to 14 here, I added another 1 to 14, about 28 list of expenditure. All right. Instructional materials, very legitimate expenses. So these are very, very important to capture. All right. I don't know if us are finding value in what we are doing here. Are you finding value? Please let me know. Put it in the comment section if you're finding value. All right. All right. Can see here. All right. Mr. Adedapo Williams, absolutely. Yeah, great value, good favor. You see, somebody said Loma. Loma is every month. Loma is every month. All right. Loma, at least 5,000, 10,000, dependent on where your school is located. You can't run from it. So, all right. Someone said discount on fees be included. Yes. Discount on fees. If you have not captured it, if you capture your total fee without including discounts and your expected school fee, all right. If you capture your total fee without including discount here, you must capture the discount in the expenditure because it's an expenditure for you. All right. So know the discount. So you see, at times, financial planning needs sitting down to calculate, to look at it. It's stressful, but it's good. Someone says, I pay 40,000 naira per term for Loma. All right. Scholarship too. If you captured all, for example, if you say in this class we have 20 students and you already captured all their fees, you must be able to calculate the expenditure, those on scholarship. So you'll be able to minus it here. So you just put it, scholarships and discounts. You know the total, maybe scholarships, 10. What classes, you remove that. That's part of expenditure. All right. Okay. So I'm so happy that we are having this conversation. Somebody said land use charge. Yeah, Lagos business premises, radio, and all of those things. Fantastic. So just because of our time, let's quickly add up all the income. So I'm going to start adding up. Outstanding school fees, 140,000. I'm adding up on my phone. So 140,000 plus. You can also add up with me so that we can harmonize what the total cost is. 140,000 plus 6 million. Okay. Plus 600,000. Okay. Plus 300,000. Okay. Plus 1.2 million. Okay. Plus 1.5 million. Okay. Plus 500,000. Okay. Plus 200,000. Okay. Plus 400,000. Okay. Plus 600,000. Okay. Plus 200,000. Okay. Plus 1.3 million. Plus 500,000. So the total income, I'm really sorry. I apologize for those that couldn't join again one more time. The next training, we're gonna just go on our Facebook, our Inner Circle Facebook group, so that everybody can be there, everybody can watch. The 100 limitation here, really sorry for that, please. It didn't come to my mind on time, but this is recorded and you can replay it. Okay. So 13 total income. Let's give our total income here. Our total income is 13,440,000. That's for this school. That's the total income generated. Okay. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Mrs. Bamdele Shotimei. Thank you for confirming that. So expenses, let's do expenses now. Just expenses. I didn't capture all the expenses, but you get the gist. So let's capture all the expenses here. Okay, 3.6 million plus 900,000 plus 650,000 plus 120,000 plus 300,000 plus 70,000 plus 360,000 plus 100,000 plus 500,000 plus 100,000 plus 1.4 million. Well, is gulping so much expenses plus 200,000 plus 70,000 plus 50,000. Total expenses here is giving me 8.4 million. 8,420,000. Okay. These are fictitious school. At least has some kind of money. All right. So now this is just total income versus the expenses. Remember, we didn't put all the expenses, but just to save time, you can always add that. So it could be higher than this. So we have 13 million as income, 8.4 million as expenses. Okay. What's the current balance? So let's minus it. Minus, I want to take out to just know the balance. So the balance will be 5 million. That's for the balance. All right. Good. So cash at hand means what cash do you have in school right now? Like, do you have any cash at hand that is school money? Cash at hand, maybe you have any cash. So let's say you have 30,000 cash at hand, school money is in, all right? Cash at bank. Do you have any cash at bank? Did you finish the term? Did you finish the term with any cash? Let's say I finished the term with 200,000. I'm just giving an example. All right. This gives us, all right. Okay. Are you owing salary? Are you owing anything? Internal outstanding? Like, are you owing textbook? Is there any money you are owing any of your vendors and all of that? All right. So this internal outstanding, let's oh man, I'm a good guy. I'm a good school. I'm not owing anybody. External outstanding, loans and all. Do you have any of that? Oh, I don't have any. Let's give an example. I don't have any. All right. So, or let's say external outstanding. Let's say, oh, I have 3 million in loan. All right. I have 3 million in loan. Okay. All right. So how much is my expected profit if I decide to pay all the 3 million? At times, maybe the staggered payment and all of that. Oh, so if I add it together, 5,020,123 minus plus 30,000 naira plus 200,000 equals to 5.2 million minus my 3 million loan. That will give me 250. This is my flex money. This is my profits for the business where I can use to reinvest or do any other thing. So this is just a snapshot. Did you get that? Okay, let me see. Did we get that? Did we all get that? Was that clear? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, thank you. Grace said profit 2,250,000. Yeah. So pretty simple. All right. So but that's not the end. I've almost spent an hour on this expenditure. That's not the end. Okay. Thank you so much for the feedback. So now we have 2,250,000 as our profit. But remember, this is budget. this is not real. All right. This is, but somebody said thinking the current balance should be the profit. The current balance. The reason why we took that out because see, first of all, disclaimer, I'm not an accountant, all right? I drew up this system to just make it very simple for myself when I was administering the school to see the finances. So I always like to do things in a very, 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 very simple way, all right? So in my own head, so I'm not, if you're an accountant in the house, please forgive me if I'm making any mistake. I'm just talking from my little accounting experience with schools, what I've used with schools. So this is how I think. If I have 5 million as my current balance and my cash at hand is 30, cash at bank is 200, but I'm still owing people. I'm still owing my staff. I still have loans. Maybe this external outstanding is loan. Internal outstanding has to do with vendors and all of those things. Then that is not total profit because I still have to pay some money out, especially when they resume, they'll start knocking on the door. So I know that I have this amount already separated. So I'm not planning on 5 million. It's better I'm planning on 2 million. Do you get my point? I don't know if you got it. Mrs. Maradi, I don't know if you got it. Yeah. So that's just the simple explanation, nothing complicated. All right. So now that we have it here, but remember, this is still budget. It is not actual stuff. It's budget. So I know, man, 2 million, 5 million profit and all of that. It's still budget. We are planning on the current student that we have. All right. Okay. Now, these income records reports, you now do the same thing we have done after the 10. Okay. So we're all going to come back here after the 10. And first of all, now go back to this, second sheet to now know This is income records, the reports. The outstanding school fees that we say 140,000 was outside. How much gangan, if I can use that Yoruba slang, how much gangan came in? We'll put it here. Oh, only 100,000 came in. First term school fee, how much was the tuition? How much did you spend on notebooks? How much income came for uniform? This is the exact thing that happened. This is reports, okay? To exactly know what went, what happened, right? This is reports. Same thing with the expenditure. How much did we pay for salary? Did we employ more teachers? Or maybe did we let go of teachers? How much was how much did you pay our vendors? How much did you pay fuel for school runs, like generator fuel? How much did you pay for? So this, the same thing that you have here, up here, I'm not going to go through that. We're not going to go through that, all right? But I'm just giving an example. Like, we're not going to go through that on this video. We now come back because that's where we'll be able to compare income, what happened, versus what we projected. What actually happened versus what was projected. All right? Pretty simple. I'm going to save this document. I will upload it so that we're going to save it and we'll just yeah. So we're going to upload that particular document so I can just be like an example and a guide. All right. So it helps us. So back to that, we have gone through even our slide 6, we have gone through examples and all of that. Okay. The next thing, which I'm going to stop here, because in our next presentation, we're going to be looking at revenue diversification. But I don't always like doing training more than 1 hour because of rewatch time. So, okay. The next question will now be, how do we track our daily expenses? Remember, when we're building this expenditure, there's this budget, we had what we call expenditure records, all these temporary salaries, blah, 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 fuel, stationery. So how do we track it? How do you track it? Because if you can track it for this term, it will not be an issue when you are budgeting for second term. Because now you can track it for this term. It will not be an issue when you are budgeting for second term. It won't be an issue. All right. So how do you track your expenditure records? Okay. So let me go to my documents and open the expenditure documents. Yeah, daily. How do you track it? Okay. Let me come back to expense tracking. So the next one is monitoring your financial health, expense tracking for sustainability. And I use what I call the daily expense tracker. That is, you are keeping a record of every financial transaction, no matter how small. For example, if you buy supply for a classroom project, you record the expense immediately. This transparency prevents overspending and ensures accountability. It helps you see where money is going. Will you be able to track 100%? Maybe, but at least if you do 90, 80, 95, 80 to 90%, even up to 95% is good. Can help you with your monthly reviews to be able to compare. Oh, for example, our total expenditure. Where's the document we open? Let me bring it back. Our total expenditure when we're calculating our budget. In our total expenditure, was going to be 8.4 million. But by the first week of resumption, or the first month of resumption, you have seen that your expense is about 6 million. You can like, man, our budget actually says 8.4, and now we're already 6. It gives you that because you already have a number in your head from your budget. Okay. So it can help you watch, oh, what's going on? Did we make any major thing that we didn't capture in our budget? Can help you with that. Can help you with optimizing your expenses, identifying areas where you can reduce costs without compromising quality. Okay. For example, maybe you're spending so much in printing documents. You can look like, okay, what if I get my printer myself? Will it be cheaper instead of me going out to print it from this woman? Or can I change the person I'm printing from? It can help you save costs. All right. That's an example. So revenue, the expense tracker is what I'm going to show next. All right. I won't spend time much on this, and it's just pretty simple. Let me see how to zoom this. Can I zoom it? Yeah, I can. So expense tracker is pretty simple. An expense tracker is just having a simple system like this. You can have anything to track your expense, where whatever money goes out, you capture the dates, the name of the person that collected the money. If it's you, if it's your husband, if it's a teacher, if it's anybody, if it's a contractor, the purpose of the money collected. Remember that we are grouping money under different headings. If you don't put the purpose here, this is what will help you track what went for what. Oh, this is fuel. It can help you itemize what went for what. So it's important. It could be at the front desk. Any money that is being collected, we come there to sign. The amount that was collected, the signature of the person the signature of the person that collected it, and who approved the money. If you have that system of approval before it is handed over, the person signs here. So it helps you track. If you don't have that system of somebody approving, it's fine. But first of all, it's just for tracking to know. For this term, for this session, we print this out. We are tracking it every day. Photocopy this, do like maybe 10 to 20 pages of this, and clip it together and make sure it's recorded on a daily basis, because this is what we are going to use to track our expenditure when we are doing our reports. I hope what I said is very, very clear and I didn't confuse us. So I'm also going to put the link of this one in the comment section so that you have it. All right? So that you have it. In our next training, we're going to be talking about revenue diversification. But for now, I want us to take these assignments home as the school is resuming next term. Can you please create a budget? All right? Create a budget for your school. I'm going to stop here. And I want to have your questions. All right? We're not done with this yet. Next week, Wednesday, again, hopefully, we're going to also have another talking about revenue diversification. That might not be on Zoom, it might be on our Facebook group so that it can take more people. But do you have any question? Have you learned a lot? Please put your question in the chats. I can pick it up from there. All right? Put your questions in the chats. Do you understand? Was there anything that confused us? Do we understand? I'm not a financial guru, but I tried my best. There's a hand being raised by Mrs. Bridget. Can you please let me know your question? Yeah. Thank you very much. Yeah. Did we gain? Let me see your feedback. Talk to me. Talk to me. Talk to me. Are we doing this already? Or, are we already doing this in our school? Or did this start up a thought process for our school as we are going this term? Please let me know. Please let me know in the comments. Okay, let me give a relief. Lord, can the market seller sign our daily expenses record on the collector's signature, Lord? Well, it depends on you. Really, the signing of the signature how would I put it? First of all, this is to track who collected what at the point in time. If you tell them to sign, you can tell them to thumb print. But it's not even about the signing and all of that. It's first of all knowing where the money is going. Right? Whether they decide to sign or not, you know that you gave this money to this person's particular time. If you want them to sign, but if they don't sign, make sure it's captured. What was that market woman? What did they go and what did you buy from them? Stationaries, you put it down. All right. So I hope I answered that question. Emilia Nwokore says, thanks so much. Yeah, this is very helpful. Thank you so much, ma. Someone collect 13K assigned and later return 700. What do we do? Later return 7. Oh, the person returned 700 there. Okay, you can always make a note. I think in those cases where you have somebody saved, you can always make a note in that money collected, like less 700, and you put the total money collected to 12,300, if you get my point. So in that amount collected, you make a note, less 700, because 700 was returned, then you now put the amount that was actually collected, which was 12,300, okay? Think I answered that question. For those of us who joined late, can you share the picture document on general platform, because this has really eaten deep into the finances? Yes, I'm going to share everything. This video will be uploaded before we wake up tomorrow morning, to be live with the documents we used and all of that. Thank you. Okay. I've really learned a lot. That's from Samsung. I can't see your name. I've learned a lot. I've been trying to track this before now, but I'm quite sure this is going to be a success. Yes, it must be, because we have to know where our money is going so that we can cut costs first. The purpose of this is to cut costs, reduces frivolous spending, monitor where our money is going, and we can now build on that, because the economy is requiring serious discipline, if you know what I mean. I said, I've really learned a lot. I've been trying to track okay, yeah, I've answered that. I said, if you own the building and you set money aside for rent, how do you treat the money later? Do you spend it on yourself or on the building? That was your choice, but most of the time the money can be used to even acquire more buildings. Okay, all right. So depends on you. You can use it for, as is that rent can now be for future acquisitions. Maybe you see land, buildings, things you can pay. Some people, I know a school owner that separates that rent and use it to tie land down. Like, there's some people that will allow you little payments monthly and uses the rent for land payments and all of that. So it depends. You can find a purpose for that money. And spending it on yourself is not also bad, all right? You can use it on yourself, because, I mean, that's a discipline of having that rent, dependent on what your need is at that particular point in time, okay? Yeah. My question goes thus: when expenses is more than income, what should one do? Okay, one, that's from Prolific Julie. One, when expenses is more than income, you first know to track that expense, to know what you can cut back on. What are the things you can stop? What are the things you should not be having anymore, all right? How do you cut back on that? Including things like salary, all right? Looking at the functionality of, can I afford to pay this salary? Do I need to employ so many teachers? Look at all those things. It helps you see that. If I'm spending 1.2 million, like when I did this for my mom's school, then we're spending about 200,000 on fuel. So I'm like, why should we be spending this much on fuel? So I took the 200,000 and I went to buy. MTN was doing a particular kind of solar, and I installed solar in the school, dropping that expense of fuel. That's an example. So I took the money that was meant for the fuel and I invested in solar to cut down the cost of fuel. So what do you cut down on? So that's one. Once you can figure out what you cut down on, the next thing is, how do you now grow? How do you get more revenue in? How do you get more revenue in? That will be the next thing. All right. Okay. Thank you so much for reminding us. Now, for Prolific Julie, we can't save your expenses more than income until you go and do it, except you say you have done everything right on this video, which I don't think it's possible, because it needs you to sit down and actually calculate. Okay. Thank you so much for reminding us to continue to do it, and above all, follow up on it. Yeah, thank you so much, man. Omolara Fashioner says, you have done a fantastic job. We are doing it, but not consistent, but this will help us to do it well. Thank you so much for the kind words and comment. For the loan, if the loan is not for the current term, is it advisable to remove it from the income for the term? For the loan, how much are you paying out of the loan this term? So I actually mentioned that. So let's say I have 3 million, and in my plan, I'm paying out 1 million this term. All right, 2 million is still a receivable, so I can remove that 1 million this term. So that can manage what the actual profit is, if you know what I mean. So how much are you removing from that money this time? You might not. I'm just using that example. Like, I have 3 million. Remember, that's a fictitious school. All right. So for example, if that school has 10 million in loans and I put that loan, I can't remove all 10 million in one time. I can decide, this 10 million loan, the agreement with the organization is to pay 2 million every time. So let me put 2 million. If I put 2 million, I take that out, how much is remaining? I know next time, but that's my receivable. That's what I still have. So, all right. I don't know if I answered that question. It's simple, less confusing. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for this training. You're welcome. Thank you so much, sir. This is easier to operate than what we have been using. Oh, okay. Thank you. Very insightful and worth the time. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the training. Thank you so much. Wow, wow. I have so many messages. Thank you so much. I developed something like this in the past, but later stopped because I didn't know if it was helping. It's helping. Very helpful. Simple helps. Simple help. We can use all other systems. Some people use Excel, use so many things. It's very important. But this paper, once you do it, you can input it into any system you want to use. It gives you that. But I just always like to understand this myself first before you give me any complicated system. I want to see itself so I can say, okay, I'm a very layman in my understanding, especially when it comes to money, anything money. Let me understand it plain. Well, this is how much is coming in. This is boss, very lay. I can lay it out like that. So I can now input those numbers into any system to do the calculation for me. And that's why I have used this system, and I always use this system to explain. This is just a better, there are more advanced system than this, but this is just a bedrock of understanding how your money goes in and come out. How your money goes in and come out every time. What happened if I exceeded my expense budget but still have important expenses to make as a new school where there is a lot of expenses? Okay, if it's a new school, most of the time you are spending from savings. Okay, you have a money saved up, especially a new school. In fact, in that place of income, tuition, and all of those things, it will be very, very small because your number is small. And when your student's number is small, you can't have a lot of textbook purchase, you can't have tuition purchase, you can't have so many of those purchases. So where are you now getting money from? It means you have saved up for it, or you have another business you are putting out money from. So at the beginning, there will be more expenditure than income until you reach a break even, a place where expenditure and income balances up. So your goal is, how can you get to the break even point so that you spend less of your income and more of the school's income? That's the first push for you, is that how do I break even quicker? And you break even by increasing the number of students registering. When you have a lot of students registering, then you can increase multiple things those students are getting from you: uniform, textbook, tuition, extracurricular activities, and all of that. So now the only thing you can do is to increase your population because your school is new and you're pulling money from other sources. Okay. Good evening, Teacher IT. I do budget every day, but my expenditure always exceeds my budget. My leaking area is always on school bus service. Please, what am I doing wrong? If you say school bus service, it means maybe you have what do you call it? A lot of expenses going there in repairs, in fuel, and all of that. So is there a balance between people using your bus and the amounts they are paying? Okay, because I've seen that. You see, I will pick them up. How much? I just pay 10,000. I just pay small money for fuel. We'll pick them up. You need to now go back and do that math again. Is the mathing? Right? Is the math. If the math for school bus is not matching and you are losing, is there any need to keep that service? That's the question, because I've seen that happen. Properly charge them. Oh, school bus will now be 120,000. Some school buses for some schools is even more expensive than some tuition because of and it's not your fault. It's the economy. It's the economy. So is the math for your school bus mathing? That's the question. Okay. Has burdened me so much on what to do. The format is needed urgently, boss. Okay, thank you. Please, can we get the recording? Yes. It will be uploaded in NASECO library and sent to the group. Can loan repayment serve as a rent for the building if the building is yours? Can loan repayment serve as rent for the building if the building is yours? Like I said, you can allocate the money we are paying for rent. It depends on you, basically. So yeah, if you want to apply that for loan repayment, why not? Why not? So you know that this rent is going for loan. It depends on you, on what you're using, because now the building is yours. That's the advantage. So the money you're separating for rent can be allocated to anything you feel is needed. For some people, they don't have any loan. They have all the building. They have all the income. So what? Let's travel the world. They will use the money to travel the world. For some people, oh no, I want to buy land. They will use it to buy land. For you, to repay loan. So it could be anything you allocate it to be. It's widely enlightening. Thanks for the great impact. Thank you so much. Please, for welcome back to school events, do we need to rent a canopy, get a DJ and all that? No, there's a training on welcome back to school event in the Inner Circle Library. Please go and watch it. It's not very complicated. Please, your school is not a party environment. Your school is a school. So there are strategic things you just do there to welcome the student back. All right. DJ, rent a canopy. People can enjoy those things and still not register. All right. Because that's not why they register in the first place. The first the major thing of the welcome back to school party that I always talk about is to welcome the children back, welcome the parents back, in the format I designed, from me organizing it myself. Pray for the school, all right? You have parents come pray for the school. Roll out the plans for the school. What is the plan? What are the activities that the parents should prepare for? What are those plans for the school, all right? Acknowledge those that made 100% payment before the term resume. Acknowledge them by giving them gifts, giving them whatever, just acknowledging them in the presence of the people. All right. I think that format is in Inner Circle Library. You spend about an hour to 2 hours sensitizing the parents, everybody coming together, and everybody is released. So it's like a vision casting for the new term. It's not a place where they welcome back to school, and they are casting the plan for the old term, and everybody sees it. So they know what date, what event, what their purpose is, the purpose of the teacher, the purpose of the student, the purpose of the parents. That's welcome back to school. I don't know what people are doing right now and say they want to bring DG and all of that. You can do that and people will still not register. And you don't want to give your school the reputation of, oh, that place that they can do party. They don't just know anything. You don't want to give your school that reputation. Okay. Okay. Oh, man, thanks, Coach IT, for this insightful training. All right, I'm going to stop recording now so that we don't have it longer than 1 hour, 15 minutes, and I'll continue answering the question. Okay.